Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos. As I said, this is currently my preview for the Manchester United Crystal Palace game at Old Trafford, which is currently on the 30th of September. I do think, yes, it is a Saturday game in the process. As I said, guys, in the process, it is a Saturday Man United versus Crystal Palace, and I'm just going to give you some roundup and there's a bit of team news. It hasn't been fully confirmed yet, but it did basically say that Jose Mourinho has given us a bit of team news ahead of this game. There currently could be 7 key players out of the Crystal Palace game, because it has been actually confirmed that during the Moscow game when we won 4-1 the convincing victory, that Martial had also limped off in that game, which I hadn't currently see. We also know United have got long-term injuries through Rojo still. Ibrahimovic expected to return in December. Man United have still got Fellaini injured. Obviously, Man United are still in the process of signing Fellaini a new deal. Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player, and he said he's a key member of the squad, and he blocked his move to Galatasaray after agreeing personal terms. The club are initially, want to sign a 1-year extension, but Fellaini wants more than a 1-year extension. He's come off the bench a couple of times to get his name on the score sheet this season as Marian Fellaini. So, yeah, he's currently injured. We know Paul Pogba is still injured. He said he could be out for 12 weeks, but I don't think yet the club have fully announced how long. Presumably, they haven't estimated how long he's going to be out for. Some of the reports were saying that he needed surgery. Paul Pogba, there's obviously a doctor monitoring Paul Pogba's injury. Mourinho wasn't satisfied with ignoring the medical staff and going against the club's advice. Was Paul Pogba is a player, he's lethal, and he's our most creative midfielder. Is Paul Pogba? He's very, very good, and he's scored a couple of goals this season. Provided quite a few assists as well as Paul Pogba, but he's currently out. Jose Mourinho didn't really say. He dispelled the myth that he could be out for 3 months. Paul Pogba, he has suffered an hamstring injury. He suffered an injury last season, but he recovered after 3 games. Paul Pogba, so we know Paul Pogba's out. Fellaini's out. I hope Martial's not injured, as he did say he limped off in the CSK Moscow game. We know Ibrahimovic is coming back in December. We know Rojo's still out. We know Luke Shaw's just recently only come back from injury as well, because he'd been playing with the under-23s and he participated in the Burton game. We know Ashley Young has made a big impact since he's come back, and he's returned and he's recovered from full injury as well. Ashley Young's played well since he's come back. He'd operated the right back and then he'd been rotated to the left-hand side. And Ashley Young currently participated in yesterday's game against CSK Moscow, but Jose Mourinho has confirmed there could be 7 players out. He's also dispelled the myth that Carrick could be playing as well. Obviously, Man United are still looking for the long-term replacement for Michael Carrick, who's won every single domestic cup and made over 300 century appearances. He's made over 3 century appearances now for Manchester United as Michael Carrick. So he did say, Mourinho's confirmed that there could be 7 key players out. Obviously, for CSK Moscow, we know Valencia didn't make the move. Our advanced right back, he wasn't in the team in Moscow. Phil Jones didn't play in the game as well. Michael Carrick wasn't there. We also know Phil Jones wasn't there as well. So Jose Mourinho, we know we've been playing Bailey and Jones a lot this season, especially in the Premier League, because they've complemented each other fantastically well. In the cup games, he's been going with likes of Smalling and Lindelof, mostly, but in the CSK Moscow game, he did go with Smalling. He went with 3-4-3, he went with 3 at the back. He went with Smalling, Lindelof and Eric Bailey. Did Jose Mourinho, and I thought Smalling put a fantastic performance in, against CSK Moscow. I thought Martial was very, very good. Lukaku scoring his 10th goal this season, and all in all, Martial getting his 5th goal, and providing 2 assists in the process as well. I thought Lukaku was very, very good. I think he's good when he's an isolated figure, and I thought his movement in the box, was absolutely immense, his movement in the box. And I think when he's isolated figure, he's very, very good as well as Lukaku. And I think he's the best striker that Man United have signed for probably years on end, if I am going to be quite honest with. Very, very good performance. Mkhitaryan could have got his name on the score. She had a couple of chances. Blind had a couple of chances. Darmian, when he came on, had a great chance. Mkhitaryan had a great chance, as I said. Martial, had a couple of decent opportunities. Lukaku had a couple of decent opportunities. He could have got more than 2 goals. And it was a fantastic performance of Manchester United. Now, I think we've scored about 27 goals now in the process, and I think it's 27-28, and we've only conceded like 3 or 4 goals in the process. So we are being more clinical now in the final third, but we don't need to get too carried away. now, because we've got to go to Palace on Saturday, you know. We've got to get that win, you know. We're level on points with City, but obviously City are top on goal difference, as I said. So, yeah, in the Palace game, you could say Man United all day long, you know, considering, you know, the way Palace have been playing, you know. Palace, in their games, you know, they have yet to score a goal in the Premier League, and that has made big history. Crystal Palace have really, really struggled. You know, they've just recently appointed Roy Hodgson as new manager. He's 70 years old, you know. A lot of Palace fans won't be satisfied with this. For me, he's not a good manager, you know. He's manager likes of England. He's been under Nice, he's been at Fulham, he's been at Liverpool, and Roy Hodgson hasn't really got a good pedigree, and I think he signed a 2-year deal with Crystal Palace. He lost his his first game against Southampton as well. I think it was. They did win the cup game against Huddersfield. They have scored goals in the FL Cup, but they have yet to score in the Premier League. Have Palace, and they are leaking so many goals. You know, they was destroyed at City. You know, they've lost to the likes of Huddersfield. They've lost to the likes of Burnley. They've lost to Liverpool, of Crystal Palace. They've lost basically all the games of Palace, so they have really, really struggled, and we've got such a good record against Palace as well in the process. Just look at the head-to-head, you know, Man United, Palace, as I did say, you know, we've had 8 wins, they've had 1 win, they've been 3 draws, there's been 2-0, 2-0 Man U, 1-0 Man U, 2-1 Man U, 0-0, Man U 2-0, 2-1 Man U, 2-0 Man U, 0-0, 0-0, 2-1 Man U, we know we beat them, you know, in the League Cup as well. Also beat them in the FA Cup final as well too. So we've got a very, very good record against Palace. Shouldn't be too much of a problem really, because Palace are playing very, very poor. So we've never lost a Premier League game against Palace in 16 previous meetings. That's a statistic to update you on. You know, Crystal Palace last fixture over us was in May 1991 at Selhurst Park. You know, you might score in Mundial Salco, netting a bracing 3 win. However, their most recent victory over Manchester United came in the League Cup in November 2011. So that was basically their... So the last victory was in May 1991 against us at Selhurst Park, but the last fixture there did beat us at Old Trafford in the League Cup back in 2011, when I do remember that game. Darren Ambrose had scored and Glenn Murray had scored in that game. Man United won 10 consecutive home top-flight matches against Palace, conceding just 2 goals in that time, both in the same game, in the 5-2 win in December 2004. 8 of Man United's 17 Premier League goals so far this season have arrived in the final 10 minutes of matches. So, Man United have scored, you know, as we were 3-0 up in the CSKA Moscow game, you know, in about half an hour, you know, because it's not easy to go away grounds. We was about 3-0 up in half an hour, and we scored a lot of times, you know, quite a few times, you know, late on in games this season, you know, to kill games off. But we are killing teams off, you know, as we didn't do much last season, as you've seen in the process. But Romelu Lukaku, you know, is on form. 10 goals now in all competitions, about 93 goals, 93-4. Now is it all in the Premier League? He's Premier League proven, as I said. He scored 6 goals in his first 6 Premier League appearances for us. His record tally of goals by Man United, you know, in open 7 Premier League games for his club is held by Andrew Cole. Romelu Lukaku scored 19 goals in his last 21 Premier League appearances in comparison. Crystal Palace have scored 18 goals in their last 21 Premier League matches, as I said. Juan Mata's next Premier League appearance will be his 200th in the competition. Just 6 Spanish Premier Leagues have previously reached this landmark in the Premier League. David De Gea, David Silva, Fabregas, Pepe Reina, Arteta and Fernando Torres in the process of that as well. So that's a statistic. So Man United have got a very, very good record, you know. We're scoring loads of goals. We're not conceding many goals. It's good to see. 4-0 West Ham, 4-0 away at Swansea, 2-0 Leicester, 4-1 Burton, 4-0 Everton. So Man United are playing well. The star performers, Mkhitaryan is doing very well. As Young, since he's come back, doing very, very well. Fellaini were doing well till he got injured. Pogba were doing well till he got injured. Matic, you know, is playing very, very well as well for Manchester United. And it's good that we've got 2 young, talented, experienced players in our side, such as Rashford, who's growing, developed into his game. Scored 11 goals last season. He's already got 5 this season. Martial's growing, developing into his game fantastically well, guys, as I do keep saying. And yeah, it's good to have 2 young age prospects in your side. As I said, it's good to have 2 young age prospects, you know, in your team, as I said. But you've got top scorers. You've got Morata now, 6 goals. Lukaku's let's just go back to the top scorers. You know, Morata, who had a good pedigree in Italy, and he's hitting fantastic form for Chelsea. It's going between Chelsea, City and United for the league this season. Lukaku was 6, Aguero was 6. He was proven, you know, with Atletico Madrid with Sergio Aguero, Jamie Vardy were 5, Raheem Sterling were 5, Lacazette were 4. For me, the best strikers in the Premier League so far, you know, Harry Kane won the Golden Boot last couple of years, scored over a century goals now for Tottenham. His progressions have been fantastic. Probably the best striker in Premier League for me. Lukaku now with 6, Aguero now with 6, as I said. Lacazette, I said he's not in the same calibre as your likes of Aguero, your Maratas and your, you know, Lukaku's and that. But I think Lacazette is still a good player. You know, he proved it in France, as I said. So for me, you know, it's going to be a 3-horse race this season, you know, for the league title. But this should be an easy Man United win, you know, after the Palace game. I think we've got the international break, then we've got Liverpool coming up, and then I think we've got, is it Benfica or something like that? Is it Benfica then? And then I think we've got, who is it after Benfica? I can't remember who is after Benfica, but I know we've got Liverpool coming up soon in the process as well. So, sorry about that. So, you know, so yeah, we've got Man U, Palace here. You got Chelsea, Manchester City. Chelsea, Manchester City, you know, is going to be, you know, a really tasty affair, guys, if I'm going to be quite honest with you in the process, you know. Chelsea, Manchester City, you know, is always going to be a big game of football, you know. Chelsea, you know, especially, you know, they're doing very well this season. Since they lost to Burnley, you know, they've picked up, you know, they've got Morata, you know, that's hitting fantastic form for them. They've got other good players that's really, really hitting form for them. They've got Bakayoko and spent quite a bit of money in the August window, you know, and Conte is a very, very good manager for Chelsea. This is going to be a tough game of call because, you know, both teams playing very well. We know, especially Stamford Bridge has been a fortress, you know, especially when Chelsea had Jose Mourinho, and Conte and Pep Guardiola have got both good pedigrees. And both teams have got very, very good players. City have got Aguero hitting form, Gabriel Jesus, who are the fluid of Manchester City. They've got Raheem Sterling hitting form. City is scoring goals. Chelsea is scoring goals. So this is going to be really, really hard to predict. So this is going to be a massive game of football, you know, in the process of it. So Chelsea have had 7 wins in the process. City have had 10 wins, 5 draws. So City have had more wins than Chelsea in the process. So for me, I do think this is going to be a draw because City have got a good defence. You know, they're strengthened up. They spent over £100 million just on fullbacks in the window. Chelsea have got a very, very good attack as well. So I think both teams are going to score in the game, as I said. But Chelsea have only lost one of their last 7 Premier League games against City. They've only lost one of their last 7 Premier League games against City, so they have got a pretty decent record in that aspect of Chelsea. City have lost both their Premier League matches against Chelsea last season. With the Blues, the only side to achieve this feature over Pep Guardiola's side. So what he's saying is City lost both games to Chelsea last season in the process as well. Morata's now, you know, as I said, Sergio Aguero has scored in 8 starts away from home in the Premier League. One sort of the Premier League record, scoring in 9 away starts in a row. Set by Robin van Persie in December 2010 and May 2011. Morata scored 6 goals in his first 6 Premier League appearances, 3 with his head and 3 with his right foot. The top scoring player in his first 7 appearances as a Premier League player is Mike Quinn, 10 goals, followed by Diego Costa, 9 goals. So yeah, going to be a very, very interesting, tasty affair. And that is a 5:30 kickoff, is it? I think it is. Might be 5:30, not too sure. Yes, 5:30, I think it is. So that is going to be a very, very interesting game, guys, to watch as well in the process. You know, you've got, I'm not going to go through them all. You've got the likes, you know, of Huddersfield and Tottenham as well in the process. You got the likes of Huddersfield, Tottenham. That's going to be another good game. Huddersfield, you know, didn't have too much of a bad start to the season. You know, they lost to the likes of West Ham. You know, they won at Crystal Palace and that. They did beat Newcastle as well. See, they haven't had the worst of starts of the league, but Tottenham for me, you know, with the form that Tottenham are in, you know, they're not doing so good at Wembley. They're still awaiting the new stadium. They haven't won a game yet at Wembley in the Premier League this season of Tottenham. They have won in the League Cup there, and they did beat Borussia Dortmund at Wembley as well, but they're still waiting the new stadium. But when Tottenham have got the likes of Dele Alli, I think that could be signing a new deal for them. Apparently teams are interested. Harry Kane in there, you've got the likes of Danny Rose in there. Did say before he wasn't satisfied with the wages that he was getting at Tottenham Hotspur. But yeah, Tottenham for me, it's going to be a win because away from home, Tottenham have been absolutely fantastic. You know, they've been very, very consistent the last couple of years. The football that Pochettino's, you know, got Tottenham playing has been absolutely sublime, as I said. So for me, you know, Kane now with over a century of goals, as I said, you know, Golden Boot in the last couple of years is Harry Kane. As I said, about 82, 83 goals now in the Premier League, all in all about 108 goals now for Tottenham Hotspur. For again, his progression has been fantastic, you know, over the last couple of years for Tottenham Hotspur. For me, it's going to be a comfortable Tottenham win in my process. For Chelsea City, I'm going to go on my prediction that for Chelsea Manchester City, that's going to be, for me, a 2-1 Chelsea win. I'm going to go for Chelsea win, actually change of plan. Tottenham's going to be, I think, 3-0 to Tottenham. Man United Palace, I'm going to go with a 4-0 victory to Man United in the process of that. And then we've got the games of like West Brom, Watford, not too bothered. Stoke, Southampton, West Ham, Swansea, not too bothered. Bournemouth, Leicester. Then on the October 1st, you've got Arsenal, Brighton, Everton, Burnley, and Newcastle, Liverpool, but not too bothered about them games in the process as well. So yeah, this is currently my Manchester United Crystal Palace preview. So Jose Mourinho has given some basic team news. More things will update. He said 7 key players could be out because we know Fellaini's still injured, we know Pogba's injured, we know Rojo's still injured, Ibrahimovic coming back in December, who scored 28 goals for his last season. Martial limped off in the CSKA Moscow game that I just found out about. I didn't notice about that as well. Michael Carrick, I don't think is going to be starting the game as well. But Jose Mourinho, you know, he went with 3-4-3. He's been playing mainly the 4-2-3-1 this season as Jose Mourinho mainly. He played the 4-3-3 against Stoke, and he went with a 3-4-3 yesterday because we know Fellaini was injured, and obviously it was guaranteed he was going to put Matic and Herrera in the midfield as well, you know, he's been playing Mkhitaryan. He put Mkhitaryan on the right yesterday. Presumably Mourinho's been playing Mkhitaryan in the middle, and he's been playing Juan Mata mostly on the right this season, but obviously he rotated the squad a bit differently as well in the process. So for me, it's going to be a Manchester United easy win, you know, considering Crystal Palace, you know, had Frank de Boer sacked after just 77 days in charge, you know, without even scoring a goal and losing all the games. And with Roy Hodgson, it's happening with them now, and Palace have got big games coming up. You know, lost to City 5-0. They've got us the weekend. And then Palace go to Chelsea as well the week after. So you could say Palace are going to lose them. They're going to lose to us on Saturday, and then they're going to lose to Chelsea the week after as well. So it's going to be really, really tough time for Crystal Palace Football Club. So anyway, guys, that's everything to do today. This is my preview for the Manchester United Palace game. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Subscribe to my channel as always, and take it easy. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye.